What is up? What is going on, everybody? I am back with the Mariners post-game recap. Once again, going to apologize for the lighting and background. I'm in the hotel. Tomorrow will be my last hotel post-game. Then we'll be back in the good, normal setting with better lighting and whatnot. As I always say before I get started, on the road to 2,000 subs. If you can help me out, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Hit the like button as well. And don't forget to comment your thoughts on the Seattle Mariners. I'll tell you, this team, every time I'm like done, I've written them off, they seem to bounce back and give me hope. That Minnesota series, after that third game, they lost my last game before my trip with Castillo was on the mound. I felt really low about this team. It kind of felt over for me. And then they win the last game, which didn't bring me fully back into it. It was good. Wins are always good. And now they've won the first two games of this series in Toronto, both in comeback fashion, both in one-run games, both with the offense stepping up and just against a team that's above you, to pass in the playoff picture. Everything about these last two wins has been just fantastic for the team. The Mariners defeat the Blue Jays today 9-8. Wild game. The Mariners jump up 3-0. They then give the runs right back after the next fourth and fifth inning. They go down 5-3. And I think we all kind of felt like, that they're not going to get any more off Gosman. They're going to fall off here. They're not going to win this game. And this is it. They're not going to do it. They've lost this ball game. Then the offense does something it just hasn't done all season. It answered back. They get a run in the bottom of the fifth. The Blue Jays scored two more in the top of the seventh. Again, it felt like game over. And then the Mariners respond with a 5-run bottom of the seventh inning, tapped off by Teoscar Hernandez. We'll get into it. Justin Topa made it a little interesting in the ninth, but I do not care anymore about what it looks like they got a win. And one thing I talked about last week was how with this team, we've seen the pitching pick up the offense before, but we have not really seen the offense pick up the pitching. It's just something that has not happened, and they did it today. The offense stepped up. Not saying it's the first time all season, but it's felt like the first time, certainly in a big game, that the offense came through and bailed out this pitching staff, or at least the starting pitching staff in this one. So let's dive into the box score a little bit. Just for clarification, I, again, did not watch this game. I'm on vacation right now, so I did not watch it. So there could be things I'm talking about. Look, maybe Logan was BABIP to death. I don't know all of how it went down, but I'm just going to give you the breakdown as best as I possibly can. 5 innings for Logan. Looked like he started out pretty sharp early on. I don't know if he lost command, control, what happened. Ended up giving up 8 hits, 5 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Toronto can swing the bats. They've got some really good hitters. And Logan's been really solid as of late, so I'm not going to harp on him. It's a shame that he couldn't hold that 3-0 lead and get him a W or get himself a W. But, it's about time the offense picked up a pitcher, and they did that. And Logan's been fantastic of late. Not going to get on him. Spire went a third of an inning, gave up a hit and a walk. Matt Brash came in and actually got them out of trouble, I believe, in the 6th, but then ran into his own trouble in the 7th. He ended up giving up a couple runs. Isaiah Campbell actually gets the win, pitching a third of an inning. He's back as Prelander Baroa's back to the minors, and also A.J. Pollock sent to the IL with Taylor Trammell back up. So instead of Kelenic and Pollock, you now have Trammell and Marlowe as your platoon. Great inning from Andres Moon, and Campbell kind of allowed Brash's runs to score. Not that Brash gets dinged for, that's how it works, but it was Campbell that came in and kind of allowed those runs to score. Munoz has a shutout, 8th inning. He looked fantastic, or the box score shows he was fantastic. Looked like Topa might have run into a little bit of trouble in the 9th. I know some people are upset that why did Justin Topa come in the 9th? And here's the thing, guys. The bullpen had already been used a lot. Logan could only go 5, which, that's all I can give you. He's getting hit pretty hard. Paul Sewald pitched 2 straight days. So you're either going to use Paul for his 3rd day in a row, which teams try to avoid, or you could have Andres Munoz go for a 6-out save, something he's never done in his career. Or with a 2-run lead, you can turn it over to a decent reliever. Do I think Topa's a relief ace? No, but I think he's an okay setup middle guy. He's all right. And that's what they decided to do. I think those are your 3 viable options. And I think maybe Paul would have been okay coming in, but like I said, that would have been 3 days in a row. And then there's not a lot of options in the bullpen. Saucedo, who else was even left? You have Saucedo down there. Or Devin Sweet. I mean, that's who you have to go to. and in a 2-run lead, out of those three, I would have chosen Justin Topa. So, like I said, every team in baseball tries not to have pitchers go 3 days in a row. Now, you could argue with this stake in the season, what this game meant. Maybe Paul was the best option. Like I said, other than that, it was Munoz for 6 outs, which I don't think he's ever done. Or you go to Topa. And Scott went to Topa, and I think that's fine. And it worked. Got job done. Was it the fanciest, most heart attack-free ninth inning we've ever had? Nope. But the Mariners got a W. Now Paul's available tomorrow. So it worked out. Great job by the offense today. Started out in the bottom of the third with 3 home runs. Cal Raleigh, who hits the Blue Jays like nobody's business. A 2-home run came for Cal. The Blue Jays and their fans must be worn out of Cal Raleigh because he is, I think, hit 4 of his 14 home runs against the Blue Jays this season, not to mention the playoff series last year. Dylan Moore, good to see. He hits a solo home run, as does Julio, finally, first time since the Baltimore series before the All-Star break. So good to see from Julio. They answer back with the Cal home run at the bottom of the 5th, and then that bottom of the 7th, capped off by the Teoscar Hernandez double to clear him off against his old mates. After he had a bad play in the top of the 7th, an error which allowed an extra run to score. Good to see Dylan Moore with a couple hits. Nice to see Colton Wong had that RBI single. Am I frustrated that Colton Wong's still in the roster? Yeah, probably. But it's not like Caballero's lighting the world on fire either. Dylan Moore hasn't stepped up enough to have that job. I know people like Sam Haggerty, but I mean, Sam Haggerty's OPS up here was like 480 as well. So there's not a ton of options. Like there's a big second base prospect knocking on the door in AAA either. So that's mostly why he's here. But listen, just a great, fantastic win for the Mariners. A great series win, first and foremost. They win the series. They win 2 games. I talked about it in previous videos. What does this team need to do in the second half to get it going? I talked about guys like Gino and Cal taking steps forward. Well, they did that a little bit today. Maybe Dylan Moore stepping up. He did that a little bit today. And I talked about winning some of these close games that they have not been winning this season. They've done that the last 2 nights. These were 2 games right here that they were not winning in the first half of the season. And they've done it. They get to 2 games above 500, and they've got a chance for a sweep tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they can get it. Let's check out the standings real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go and see where they are in terms of wild card right now. So divisional-wise, they are 7.5 back. So still there. Wild card now, they're behind the Angels. So they still have a lot of teams that are actually tied with the Angels, beg your pardon, I think are still playing right now. So there's still a lot of teams to pass, but they have moved to within 3.5 games of a playoff spot. So they're in there now. They are in the competition. And if you can win tomorrow against Toronto, move to 2.5 back. There's still a lot of teams to climb, but you're going to be feeling pretty good. So this has been a real positive series for the Mariners. I know I said before the All-Star break that was the best I felt about this team. I think right now, just with these 2 games, is probably the most optimistic I've felt. Just by the fact that they're beating a team they need to beat in front of them. This could have been a series that knocked them out. Imagine if Toronto just holds these last 2 games, last night and tonight, the Mariners are probably done. They're 7.5 back. I mean, they'd be 7.5 back of a playoff spot if just a couple things. That's what I talk about, those coin flip games. So I talk about them. They could easily be there, and I think they'd be done. I think that would be done. Instead, they found a way, they've battled back, and they've won both of them. So that's just absolutely fantastic, and it's kept their season alive. Hope everybody has a great night. Enjoy your Saturday. I will see you guys all tomorrow for the post-game recap. Take care, everybody, and as always, go Mariners. Peace.